Brooklyn. Contra Tampa Bay.
Told us that we have to respond in training, and then on game day we have to have Brooklyn feel us respond and come back after their first loss of the year.
Understanding that Brooklyn is a team that once they do lose the ball, they want to recover it extremely quick within their repressing system. So if you are the Tampa Bay Rowdies, you need to be really clean at releasing some of that pressure. Your first pass, crucial to find success going forward.
Long pass across the field. Able to be held on to, only quickly pivots. That ball takes a hard ricochet, and it comes right to MD Myers. Slithers past two men, accelerates into the 18. Myers mashes, and that ball gets pushed. Oh, check that, it just goes high.
A glimpse of how strong MD Myers is. Just fends off Latinovic here, just turns the corner. As he approaches the ball, shoulders go back, gets underneath it, and pushes it up and over the crossbar. He's a player that's going to be a handful for the two center backs for Brooklyn throughout the course of 90 minutes.
The team leader in goals has been amongst the best goal scorers in the championship the last 2 years. Ball flicks in. Myers heads it high. It's brought down, but given away. Brooklyn swinging out towards midfield, and now perhaps a chance to go 2v2 this time. Stojanovic chucks it off of Dos Santos. Throw in for Brooklyn.
Especially with how the stadium and the sun and the shade can throw off some goalkeepers. So understanding when you do get in around that final third, again, whip the ball in, test the decision-making and the vision of either goalkeeper here.
Dan Kaziel spent last year with Tampa Bay. Now playing against his former side with the expansion group, Brooklyn. Throw-in gets stolen. Cicerone plays it back and then hit off of a man as it goes out. Attacking moment here. Slamming the brakes on is Zakov. Throw in for Tampa.
Continue to talk about the tight confines here at Maimonides Park. So understanding when you do start on one side of the field, if you are the Rowdies, you have to quickly change your point of attack and allow your wingers to isolate the opponent's outside back. So understanding for Max Schneider and Cruz, the ability to receive the ball with your hips open gives you the outlet to go out the other way.
Nikoff seals that. Oliveira. Cicerone punches it to the middle of the park. Myers now chases after it, and Burns bursts it out to midfield. Tampa Bay with all three shots so far in this game. They're coming out quickly in this one. It's a fascinating duel in the way that these two teams play. I mentioned that Brooklyn, fourth in the league in shots on target. Tampa Bay has given up the fifth fewest shots on target against, and so far so good for Tampa. Schneider in the shadows. Now Nikoff out wide. Curls it in. It's headed away by Latinovic. All Tampa in possession in the opening 10 minutes of play. Scoreless so far in this one. Tampa Bay looking to avoid back-to-back losses after their hot start to the year. Brooklyn on the other side have not won a match since they beat Charleston 3-0 on April 11th. At least in the USL Championships regular season. Of course, they did beat Portland Hearts of Pine 5-1 on June 7th in the Brinks Cup. So Santos wanted to go fast. Not allowed here, and a free kick instead.
Recognition from Dos Santos to Stojanovic coming out, really aggressive, good feet. Again, just notice the high press for Brooklyn, whether it is Obregon Jr., Stojanovic. Good composure shown here by Tampa to break through.
And Kaziel. A little bit of a shove. Doesn't come with a whistle, however. Schneider plays it back. Wade has to come racing out, and the Jamaican goalkeeper sends it to midfield. Schneider has it bounce off of his left hand, and you can see his frustration for the German. Good day for Germany in the World Cup. Beating the Ivory Coast 2-1, a late winner.
Been following the World Cup?
Yeah, I've seen a game or two here or there.
Oh, a game or two.
What about you?
Same. enjoying it.
Absolutely. Of course, great chance to see some. Jaden Cervena slings it across. Way too much on that. Way easy catch. The Puerto Rican national right to Wait. Those two have had some good battles in CONCACAF qualifying.
It's far too heavy of a service from Cervena. Yes, it is a high line for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, but you have to lift it and take a little bit off of it, allowing your teammates to try to get on the end of it. Just far too easy for Jamali Waite to secure this ball. Talk about the importance here of set pieces. Need to be cleaner there from Cervena.
A yank of the jersey leads to a foul. Tampa Bay will set things up here.
Easy for Jamali Waite to secure this ball. Talk about the importance here of set pieces. Need to be cleaner there from Cervena.
Yank of the jersey leads to a foul. Tampa Bay will set things up here. Fans, do you want to get as close to the action as possible? Scan the QR code on the screen to be entered to win 4 pitch-side seats to Brooklyn FC's next home match on July 25th versus San Antonio FC. These seats put you just steps from the action where every pass, tackle, and goal happens right in front of you. Walking around on the field earlier, those are great seats. Great place to watch.
The best seats.
You can see them down here in the bottom right. Those kinds of seats that you get to watch the action from. This ball rolls back. Dan Kaziel flicks it across. Nobody in the neighborhood except for a Tampa Bay defender that flings it out towards Cicerone. Full head of steam here for Cicerone. Into the shade. Cicerone looks for choices. Rolls it back. Schneider. Ultimately, it rolls out harmlessly for a Brooklyn throw. Well, one of the other matches has started in this 7 o'clock window. Hartford and Pittsburgh are a quarter hour in, also scoreless. Sporting Jackson Charleston are in a weather delay. That time of the year, particularly if you're in Florida, where the weather influences the game. Myers chases after it. Callum Frogson, the former Florida Atlantic Owl, nudges that aside.
When you play with 2 center backs against a striker like MD Myers, and one does step up and engage with the striker, the other one needs to drop off and provide a little bit of coverage. Good relationship shown early on by Latinovic and Frogson.
Rolls to the top of the 18. Schneider flips it over the top. Akoff rolls it across. There's nobody there to finish after Burns can't get a right hand on it. Another ball sent in. This one dealt with better. Brooklyn get the ball out to midfield. Perhaps a chance to break. Numbers forward. Stojanovic wants it. He races in front but cannot win the battle. Excellent recovery by Sebastian Cruz.
Need to be really careful if you are the Tampa Bay Rowdies with the amount of possession that you have early in this match. I'd like to commit numbers forward. Love this first-time ball from Akoff. If you are Oliveira, you need to be a little bit quicker recognizing that area that you can exploit. But as you commit numbers forward, that can leave yourself exposed going back the other way. So you always want to have a +1 within your defensive set for Dominic Casciato, especially with J.C. Obregon Jr. and Stojanovic just so transitional.
Last chance created by Brooklyn so far, but you have to credit Sebastian Cruz getting back there to defend. The 25-year-old Ball ends up out on its way through the air. A throw in for Brooklyn. Let's look at Tom Casciato. Right-hand side off of the first head. It goes out. Van Kaziel. Giving right back. Good room here. Coming back is Pinto, pouncing it off of one man. Check that was Alves. And that is Pinto knocking it out.
From his left back position, Alves gives you an option going forward, a wand of a left foot. But as he does venture in around that 18-yard box, he needs to be a little bit more aggressive. It takes too long to make a decision. Archer doing a good job at slashing across and denying what very easily could have been the opener for Brooklyn.
There's one final in the league so far. That was in the Prince Tires USL Cup Group 4. 0-0 through full time. Louisville City takes the extra point, 4-3 in penalties. And that great Group 4 now sees Louisville atop the table with 8 points. Lexington and Indy 11 are playing right now. That's Indy 11's last match of the group stage, so they have to win and get a lot of help to be able to come out of the group, while Louisville and Lexington will still have a game to go after that. Good chip here. Cervania able to hold on to it. Dos Santos swings it aside. And we have our first corner kick of the match, and it belongs to Brooklyn here as we enter the 20th minute. Jaden Cervania. The last several years in North Carolina. Lines this ball up. Cervania slingshots it towards the top of the 18. Stojanovic. Low liner in, and from the training ground, that one does not come to lead to any kind of shot attempt.
It's back-to-back set pieces that Brooklyn needs to do a better job at putting more pressure on Jamali Wade and his Rowdies back line. Especially with the size that you have within your two center backs, put the ball into the mixer and just cause a little bit of chaos.
This throw goes in, bounces once, Cervania smashes it, and it goes out for a goal kick, giving us a chance to remind you that you can enter the Prince Tires USL Cup Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code on your screen and enter today. "20 minutes in, we are scoreless so far. It's a Brooklyn team that has attempted 9 shots on target in each of its last 2 matches. They have generated the attacking pop in the last 2 matches, but against this Tampa crew that is the stingiest team in the league, they have not been able to attempt a shot so far in this game, and they only have 2 touches inside of the box.
Yeah, struggling to find any sort of rhythm going higher up the field. And when in doing that, that is why set pieces become that much more important, because that gives you the opportunity to gain a little bit of a momentum. The majority of this match has been played in the attacking third for Tampa Bay. Another dangerous throw in here for Akoff.
Hoops it in. Schneider heads it high. Cicerone angles it towards the spot. Cervania pokes it. Now, one note that we haven't mentioned is Brooklyn is playing without Marcus Anderson. He picked up a red card in the 97th minute last week against Lou City. So he's serving his suspension. He has a team-high 7 goal contributions for the year, 5 goals, 2 assists, and he is unavailable this evening, serving that suspension. Good give and go here inside of the box. And the shot attempt gets blocked by Leland Archer, this time on the best surge in. J.C. Obregon taking the first shot of the match.
Really good relationship between Stojanovic and Obregon. As Stojanovic drops deeper, that allows Obregon to stay and split the difference between Dos Santos and Archer. Phenomenal reading of the play from Leland Archer to come across, not leave his feet, and just simply deny the angle towards that near post for Brooklyn.
The longtime Battery star making his first career start with the Rowdies in just his second match. Let's see what Cervania does here. Last time went to Stojanovic 25 yards away. This time, he sidewinds it in and cannot get it past the first man. All the way out towards midfield. A chance to recycle. Brought down this time by Cervania. He wins his side of throw. Van Kaziel throws this ball in. It spikes off of one man. Clearance attempt ricochets to the sideline. Olney chases. Akoff floats it over the top. There's space over there. The official nearly got in the way of that one. Instead, it's Myers trying to hold it up. He takes a tumble. Brooklyn steals it. McNamara showcases the skill set. And now we do get a whistle here. And Tommy McNamara having his thoughts heard. McNamara spending last season in Las Vegas after a long run with New England Revolution and MLS.
The argument here for Tommy McNamara to Rajai Boyko was saying that it was a denial of a transitional moment, that he wanted a card to be shown to either Cruz or Max Schneider. Tommy McNamara is a player that has just so much experience for this Brooklyn side. I've seen and done everything within his career, whether it is at the MLS level, USL as well. Showcases clean technique, can shoot from distance, can find that final ball. Been a fantastic addition for Marlon LeBlanc and this Brooklyn side.
What kind of addition? Fantastic. I thought you were creating a new word.
Try to keep you on your toes.
Turn to CBS Sports Network on Wednesday, July 1st for a USL League One showdown. Spokane Velocity FC hoping to speed past the formidable Flamingos of Forward Madison FC at 9 p.m. Eastern. Catch all the action on the CBS Sports Network. It's July 1st. Well, either side score in the first half of this one. Tampa Bay is one of the 4 teams in the league that have scored double-digit goals in each half this season. And where they excel is at the end of halves. 4 first-half goals in the final 15, 8 second-half goals in the final 15 minutes. Ball flings in and bounces right to Burns.
It needs to be a bit cleaner, a lot more balance for Tampa once they do get high up the field, because right now Brooklyn's doing a really good job at sitting really deep and making themselves very compact. So if you are one of the wingers for the Rowdies, you're spacing, trying to make the field as big as you possibly can. Have your heels on the touchline. That allows players like Oliveira and Myers to operate in that central location. But right now, Tampa Bay Rowdies are just far too narrow when they do get higher up the field.
And those 3 shots in the first 7 minutes. They have not had one in now the last 20. Good run here. Poked in. And just out of the reach that time of the target. Burns has been active. Has needed to make 1 save so far.
But again, it's good reading of the play here from Broxton. just saying like for like with MD Myers bumping the striker off the ball. Little things like that are making a massive difference when you're playing against an aggressive striker like MD Myers.
A little yank, a little tug. Tampa Bay maintain the ball, however. Akoff is the target. Alves gets over there in time to win the throw.
Perfect example of how narrow the Rowdies were in that last action. Oliveira just tries to flick this ball around the corner. No presence whatsoever providing width for Dominic Casciato.
They made 6 changes to the 11, including Evan Conway, Marco Micheletto, and Pedro Dolabella, all coming off from last week's match against Hartford, where they generated 27 shots, but only 4 on target. Will they get their first shot since the opening 7 minutes here? No. Sent away by Brooklyn. Only one man down there, that's Obregon. Cruz. Dos Santos and company back there to defend. Now Schneider. Bring in the league veteran. Appeared for Charleston nearly 200 times since 2018. Rolls in the middle. Nice little cheeky touch. Akoff is in. Akoff smashes. Burns. Stymies the chance. Stays in play. Akoff loops it across. Cicerone! Number 72 for Russell Cicerone puts the Rowdies in front 1-0.
We've talked about the width being really important for the Tampa Bay Rowdies to break through Brooklyn's back line. You play into your big striker, MD Myers. You have runners off of him. Fantastic recognition from Russell Cicerone to play it into the path of Akoff, who comes from a wide part of the field. But just notice the movement now. As Akoff picks up his head, you use MD Myers as a decoy, and that allows Cicerone just to fend off and peel towards his back post. Good ball in, better header, coming back across his body to kill the momentum of Burns. Instinctual finish, and Tampa Bay Rowdies take the lead here in Brooklyn.
Russell Cicerone moves into a tie for 10th all-time in USL Championship history with his 72nd career regular season goal. The man that has the 3rd most goal contributions in the history of the league gives the Rowdies a 1-0 edge here inside of the first half hour. What a loud noise made right there by Cicerone. But this is a Tampa team that has dropped 8 points from winning positions this year. That's the 4th most in the league on the season. So there's plenty of chances perhaps for Brooklyn to come. At the half-hour point, Akoff dribbles once more, floats this in. The header sprawling to the ground here by Callum Froxson. Sends it away. First corner kick of the match for the Rowdies. The summer of soccer is heating up, and Brooklyn FC has partnered with Windmill Air to kick out your rent and kick out the heat. Scan the QR code for your chance at $10,000 of free rent, along with a free AC and purifier, courtesy of Windmill Air. Corner goes short. And some space generated here. It takes another ricochet, stops inside of the 6, bounces out. This left-footed smash nudges a defender's right foot. Schneider couldn't quite control that ball cleanly enough to send it back into the box. Now down the right sideline, it ends up out harmlessly. They unbeaten this year when they score first. 8 wins, 4 draws. And they get a steal here inside of the box. It's a quick turn from Myers. He hits the deck and draws the penalty. That's Malik Pinto that commits the foul. And it's going to be a penalty kick here for Tampa Bay.
If you are... It arrives to you. As Pinto drops in the number 5 center of your screen, never peeks over his left shoulder.
So we'll be MD Myers heading to the penalty spot here with a chance to put his side out in front. Myers scores! A 2-goal lead now. Within 5 minutes, MD Myers has his team leading 5th, and the Rowdies lead 2-0.
Give credit to Russell Cicerone, just reads this ball, quickly plays into MD Myers, and as Pinto is trying to recover, I'll tell you what, there's not a lot of contact in there whatsoever. But as MD Myers goes down, he makes the most of it, and notice how he takes a little bit off as he approaches this ball, allowing Burns to dive out of the way, goes down centrally, confident pen to double the Rowdies' lead. But you do have the luxury of the replay. Did not think there was that much contact between Latinovic and Pinto. No VAR here in USL Championship, so whatever Sergei Boyko does whistle is the final.
Myers now 3 for 3 in his USL career in penalties. Converts yet another here in a game that was lacking some attacking punch, has seen Tampa Bay score twice in the span officially here of 3 minutes. Oh, check that. 4 minutes and 18 seconds.
The math is hard, right?
It is. Not my strong suit. Four minutes and 18 seconds between goals. Tampa Bay ahead by 2. This shot sizzles in. Wait, saves. Cannot keep it in play. Corner kick, Brooklyn. Just the second shot of the match for Brooklyn, and that was the first on target. Let's see if Brooklyn can find a response. They have not gained a point from a losing position all year long. One of the 2 teams in the league to fail to do so, along with Lexington. Olney stares through the sun. Olney blasts this ball in. Waite comes out, gets both hands on it. A miss hit. Olney chases after it, will not get back to it. Instead, it rolls forward, and a great counterattack opportunity here for Tampa Bay. Across the field, it bounces for Cicerone. He slows, plays it through the middle. 1 touch, 2 touch, and the shot ends up rolling wide right from Oliveira.
Patient from the Rowdies here. Cicerone to let this play develop, and as Oliveira comes through, all he's trying to do is come back across through the legs of Zeal. And if that is on target, you put Burns in a really difficult situation because he can't see this ball. When he does, it's a little bit too late. Just pulls it wide, but a good transitional opportunity and action for the visiting side here.
Tampa Bay with 12 first half goals for the year. Only El Paso has scored more in the first half. And once again, it's late half situations that Tampa Bay have taken advantage of. Watch the USL on ESPN2 June 24th as championship Western Conference rivals clash in a weekday battle for valuable points. Colorado Springs Switchbacks take on the top of the table San Antonio. Wednesday, June 24th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Brooklyn has scored 8 of its 13 goals in the first half this season, but they have fallen behind in this one. Along this left-hand side, it's Cicerone again. Plays it back. One touch from Oliveira. Tries to feed Myers, who had his back to the goal. Brooklyn have now conceded 14 times in the final quarter hour of halves this year. 7 times at the end of the first half. By far the most in the league in that area.
No Marcus Anderson within this lineup. You lose that vertical threat and you lose that directness to stretch the field. J.C. Obregon Jr., Stojanovic really comfortable at dropping into that hole and just wanting the ball to feet, but that plays right into the hands of the Santos and Leland Archer because everything has been in front of the 2 center backs. Good ball here.
Excellent pass. Cicerone chases. The race is won by Frogson, but concedes the corner kick.
Been really impressed with Oliveira. The pocket of spaces that he picks up, the comfortability and his decision-making, forming a nice relationship with him and Russell Cicerone on this near side of your screen. In the end, good recovery from Frogson, covering a lot of ground.
If Tampa were to win this match, they would match last season's win total of 9 with 16 more matches to go this year. Ahead 2-0 and perhaps looking for a third. Corner kick goes short. Ostrom knocks it down, loops it across, a tackle in the box. This time it is on Tampa Bay, and it's a free kick for Brooklyn. Oliveira there once more. And a yellow card being shown to the Tampa Bay bench. That's the first booking of the night to the Tampa bench. Five minutes to go before halftime. And a game that looked like it was going to be a stalemate going into the locker room changed in the 29th minute. Akoff picks out Cicerone for a headed goal. And then moments after that, Cicerone earned a steal, passed it to M.D. Myers, foul in the box, penalty kick that M.D. Myers promptly flushed right down the middle to make it 2-0. Ball bounces over the top. Akoff cycles it high, Burns backpedals and catches. Quick turn here in the middle of the field. Pinto surveys. Stops and plays it back. Cervania pushes it forward. Archer gets taken down. Official says get up. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier for the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is here every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Stoyanovic's ball ends up in the hand of Waits.
Game starting to get a little bit stretched here.
The steal. Olney takes a bump, draws the foul, and the card is shown to Sebastian Cruz.
If you are Dominic Cachero, that is not what you want to have happen, especially with the amount of runners that Brooklyn has on that top line. CJ only doing a good job at pushing the tempo and driving. You are Cruz, no real need to try to win this ball because you have your whole defensive unit behind the ball. Max Schneider's right there, the clear foul coming through the back and deserving of a yellow card, and a glorious opportunity here for Brooklyn to put pressure on Jamali Waite and these Rowdies' goal.
JC Obergon studies, drills it on a hop. Jamali Waite picks it up off of the hop. And with the flag up for offside. A free kick for Tampa Bay. Already 5 shots on target for Tampa Bay in this match. And they have responded exactly how Dom Casciano wanted to see his group come out on the road here in Brooklyn after losing their first match of the season last week, 1-0 to Hartford. Meanwhile, Marlon LeBlanc is looking for his group to collect themselves here before halftime. Just a minute or so plus stoppage time to go. What does Brooklyn need to do to generate more chances?
Well, number one, you have to keep the game simple because right now, yes, the Tampa Bay Rowdies have the majority of the possession, but when you do, the ability to recover the ball, you need to keep it. Get in a rhythm a little bit more. A lot of times we're seeing Brooklyn just try to play a little bit too direct, giving silly turnovers just like this.
It's going to be a foul, and it's going to be a card.
It's a heavy touch from Frogson here, the center back. Again, Oliveira doing a fantastic job at closing down the space quickly and winning this initial challenge here. Second player to go into the book. If you are the Rowdies, you have to be aware that one of the 2 center backs are in. Don't have a yellow card go at them. Continue to test them.
Two minutes of first half stoppage time to go in this one. And Tampa Bay, who have scored twice in first half stoppage time this season, eyeing a possible third here before the break. They've scored a season-high 3 goals on 3 different occasions this season. Schneider and Perez will set the ball down. Archer is the big man in the middle. M.D. Myers is unmarked all the way on the back post. Perez pummels, hits the crossbar. Quite nearly made it 3. Burns might have had it covered, but nevertheless, a good strike from Perez.
Good strike. A lot of venom. Hits it well, shapes it well. Perez tries to find this top corner, just gets denied by the crossbar. A really good showing in terms of the technique from the winger. And this is a good decision here from Brooklyn. Understanding that when you try to play it at the back the last couple times, you give the ball over cheaply. Push it higher up the field, regain some real estate.
We've played the 2 minutes minimum of stoppage time. And this foul is whistled on Schneider.
Jangan dah tekan jangan ni.
Hah?
Jangan dah tekan.
Mungkin nggak tuku lah. Tuku saya hormat, tekur apa-apa lah. Jangan bisa.
Jadi barang. Jaga. Kain mail semua kat.
Hah?
Usaha mana kat?
Oke.
Usaha.
Ayah.
So we built a team of the best heart surgeons, pioneers of the most modern techniques, who always find the one approach that's best for you. But while each surgery is unique, the outcome is the same: the highest success rates. NYU Langone Health.
Tampa Bay 2, Brooklyn 0 at the break here in Brooklyn. Great to have you with us. Michael and Ricky back with you here at halftime as we run through the scores in the USL Championship so far. Here's what's going on in the early window. It's scoreless between Hartford and Pittsburgh at halftime. Sporting Jackson, Charleston haven't even been able to get underway so far with the weather delay there. And then you have Birmingham just moments away from kickoff against Loudoun, and then the 8:30 window opens up with Tulsa and Colorado Springs. Late night games in the USL Championship look like this. Monterey Bay, El Paso. Can Monterey Bay get things going? Las Vegas, Orange County should be a good one at 10:30, and then Phoenix plays host to Oakland. And the night wraps up with Sacramento and New Mexico. Brinks Tires USL Cup matches that have ended. Lou City beats Detroit in penalties 4-3 after a 0-0 draw, and it's halftime between Lexington and Indy, scoreless in that Group 4 matchup of the Brinks Tires USL Cup. Here, it's Tampa Bay 2, Brooklyn 0. We'll come back with the highlights in the second half kick from New York in just a moment.
It is halftime in the USL Championship. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines from the week. Detroit City's 6-2 win at Sporting Jacks last week was an impressive number, but then 5 of those goals were scored by one player. Darren Smith put 5 of his 20 official touches into the net, becoming the first league player to reach 4 goals in a match in 13 years. Smith jumps to the top of the Golden Boot race with 11 goals on the season. Lexington SC closing in on the playoff line in the Western Conference thanks to a 2-0 win over first-place San Antonio FC. It also marks the return of forward Braudilio Rodriguez from a loan with One Knoxville of League One. Rodriguez responded with a goal in his first match, continuing his form from One Knox, where he had 3 goals and an assist. Hartford Athletic pulled off what no team had done so far this season, and the Tampa Bay Rowdies a loss. Behind the stellar performance of goalkeeper Anthony Siaha, he's grabbed hold of the Golden Glove competition, 8 total shutouts with a save percentage of more than 81%. Siaha's goals prevented statistic has risen to 5.94 this season. Upcoming national spotlight games in the championship in League One: Colorado Springs and San Antonio on ESPN2, Spokane and Forward Madison on CBS Sports Network, and the next day, AC Boise and One Knoxville on ESPN2. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
Hearts. No two beat the same. So we built a team of the best heart surgeons, pioneers of the most modern techniques, who always find the one approach that's best for you. But while each surgery is unique, the outcome is the same, the highest success rates. NYU Langone Health.
I think Idahoans have been clamoring for something that is theirs.
Feel a big sense of responsibility to do this right. You only get one first season.
For me, without soccer, it's like there's no air. Having it here, I feel like I can breathe again. Boise's never had anything like this.
Hearts. No two beat the same. So we built a team of the best heart surgeons, pioneers of the most modern techniques, who always find the one approach that's best for you. But while each surgery is unique, the outcome is the same, the highest success rates. NYU Langone Health.
I think Idahoans have been clamoring for something that is theirs.
Feel a big sense of responsibility to do this right. You only get one first season.
For me, without soccer, it's like there's no air. Having it here, I feel like I can breathe again. Boise's never had anything like this.
Tampa Bay 2, Brooklyn 0 at the break. Great to have you back with us here in New York for this USL Championship. Week 16 matchup. Michael Watring, Ricky Lopez, Espen back with you. And there have been some good runs. And this started in the 29th minute. Looked like Akoff was going to score himself. Burns makes the save. And then how about this pass to Cicerone with a great finish?
A phenomenal movement off of the ball first from MD Myers. A little check-in brings in Pinto, and that allows Cicerone just to float towards this back post. And it's a really good header. Coming one way, heads it back across his body. No way that Burns can get to it. And Rakoff, phenomenal little dig ball to the back post. And then just goes from bad to worse for Brooklyn. Never peeks over his left shoulder, Pinto. And then inter-contact here. I don't think there's that much. But yet we go to 12 yards out. A confident pen from MD Myers takes a little bit off of it, allows the goalkeeper to dive out of the way and to double the Rowdies' lead.
Officially 4 minutes and 18 seconds between the two goals in this matchup. And here are the numbers in this one. You expect this from Tampa Bay. It's a Brooklyn team that had 18 total shots on target in their last two matches, just 2 through 45. How has Tampa Bay's defense frustrated this Brooklyn
Well,
team?
right now, everything has been in front of the Rowdies. Everything has been in front of Archer and Dos Santos. There's just no vertical threat whatsoever for Brooklyn. So if you are Martin LeBlanc, how do you manipulate the two center backs? Maybe it's a selfless type of run towards a corner flag, pull them out of position, and up, back, and through. But Overgon Jr. and Stojanovic need to get on the same page. We've only seen glimpses of them working together, not on a consistent basis.
We'll see if they can find some of those low and hard shots here in the second half to get on the scoreboard. Pedro Dolabella is coming in for Tampa Bay, replacing Dion Akoff in the lineup for both sides. It's just the one change here at the break. So we'll see how the second half turns out in this one. I did mention in the first half that Tampa Bay have given up points from winning positions this season. A team that has given up 8 points from winning spots, the fourth most in the league. Birmingham, El Paso, and Jacksonville have all given up 11. That is the most in the league at this point in the year. So, second half just about ready to start in this one. And let's see if Brooklyn are able to make a comeback in our contest here as these two sides collide for the first time, or will it be a team in Tampa Bay that leads the league in points on the road this season and is the only team to not lose on the road so far in 2026, coming away with a victorious performance in this one? And for Tampa Bay, Of course, the league taking next week off. So the Rowdies will be back at it at home at Al Lang Stadium on the 4th of July against Lexington. So it'll be a good little 2-week break for the crew. Of course, Brooklyn was supposed to play on Wednesday night in Indianapolis, but the weather knocked that game off. So they get a little bit of extra rest for tonight, and we'll see how that works out here in the second half. Both coaches set their watches, as does our center referee, Sergei Boyko. And now he blows the whistle, and the second half starts. Brooklyn in the black kits. It is the white, green, and yellow for Tampa Bay Rowdies. Michael Watring, the former MLS striker, Ricky Lopez-Espin, and our entire crew with you here this evening, watching this matchup in Brooklyn on a night in which temperatures are in the high 70s. A beautiful night of action here at Miamides Park to watch our contest, with Tampa Bay leading 2-0.
As you bring in Pedro Zolabella, he's going to slot right next to Schneider, and that's going to drop Cruz to this right back position here for Tampa Bay Rowdies. You talk about flexibility and different personnel that can play different positions for Dominic Casciato.
And there's talent up and down this Tampa Bay roster. Not just in the starting 11, but the quality that they can bring in off of the bench as well. Lewis Hilton is one of the all-time leaders in appearances. He starts tonight on the bench. Evan Conway also starting the evening on the bench. He's got 40-plus goals in the history of the USL. And then you look at a Brooklyn side, and it's a team that's in its first season. You have to bring in clumps of players from different locations and then try to bring that all together. You have a lot of younger players on this team that are still trying to pave their way and pave their path. Only 3 players on the entire available roster sheet tonight that have scored double-digit goals in the history of the USL Championship. Cicerone has twice as many as the entire roster for Brooklyn here this evening.
I think you look at first what Dominic Casciato has been able to do with this roster, right? Obviously having a lot of success at Union Omaha in USL League One, so was able to see a lot of players over that landscape. So he dipped in to League One and brought players that he knew not only on a personal level, but who they were as players, and how can their talent translate into the championship. And then he goes down to players that he knows as people, the ability to create an identity, to implement what he's trying to put down here for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. While Martin LeBlanc and this Brooklyn side, yes, they brought in a new team.
Cervania picks up this ball. Getting ridden along there. And get to the 18. Now have to recycle all the way back out to midfield. And in the end, it fizzles out.
Again, just not clean enough for Brooklyn. But for Martin LeBlanc, you don't only need to field 28 players or whatever this roster size is. You have to create a culture in a new club. So it's not going to be perfect, nor should you expect it to be. But he does have a lot of young talent within his players. You look at CJ Only, Philadelphia Union, to Marcus Sanderson, who scored goals who has been really productive, translating in from MLS Next Pro MLS into USL Championship as well. Probably McNamara's had success, has had experience as well. So there's a good little mix. What from Martin LeBlanc has been able to try to create here. Next step in that progression is just to try to find consistency within your performances.
Ball bounces inside of the 18-yard box, and the flag's up for offside as Obregon bashes it into the netting behind Jamali Waits. It's not an easy task to bring in this group. As you mentioned, you have players that have been consistent pieces in MLS, consistent pieces in the USL Championship. Then you have the younger players that might have started in USL League One or might have been in MLS Next Pro that are still trying to find their rhythm within this league, and even some that have very little experience in USL Championship. John Klein comes to mind with his appearances with both Monterey Bay and Charleston last season, and now coming to this level and just trying to find the right formula as the year goes along. And it's no doubt a team that the signs are there. I mean, they beat Charleston 3-0 on this field 71 days ago. That's their last regular season win. And beating Charleston 3-0. I mean, that is not something that many teams, if any, have done the last couple of years under Ben Pierman. So there's no doubt the ability there. It's the consistency that they're still trying to find. And as you mentioned, Marcus Anderson serving his red card suspension this evening. Picked it up in the waning moments in Louisville a week ago. A man with a team-high 5 goals. Unavailable tonight for Marlon LeBlanc to choose. And you feel like LeBlanc is the right man for the job at the right time. Spent a decade and a half at West Virginia, NCAA tournament appearances on a half a dozen occasions. Led Philly Union 2 to the next Pro Cup final back in 2024. He's consistently proven that he can find young talent and develop that young talent as well. Goes inside of the box. Obregon loses it. Given away. Latinovic picks it up. Now a long distance shot. Waite stops it, but does concede a corner. Normally a ball you might think that Waite would play a little bit cleaner.
But it's difficult here for Jamali Waite, especially with how this ball skips off the turf right as it approaches the goalkeeper. Just pushes it wide. Dangerous set piece here for Sylvania and Brooklyn here.
They have not been short of these chances. It's their 4th quarter of the night. They've had a couple set pieces as well. Now trying to translate that into a shot attempt. Sylvania sidewinds it all the way to the back post. First header comes in. Second ball bounces off of one man. Alves doesn't get enough of that ball. And then commits the foul. If you're going to get Tampa Bay in terms of scoring goals for the stingiest defensive team in the league, first 10 minutes of the second half is typically where that happens. They've given up 3 in the first 10 minutes. Of the 8 goals that they've allowed all season long. But this ball is given away. It's a good read by Oliveira. He springs to action, steps over it. Oliveira connects. Bounces off of a man's backside. Counter-attacking chance here. Ball floats to Stojanovic, who was pretty quiet in the first half for a man that has scored in 3 straight. Sylvania surveys.
Just too long for this Brooklyn side to come up and support Sylvania. You have Stojanovic and Obregon Jr. just isolated against this back line for the Rowdies. Especially when you do a good job at breaking that initial line of pressure, you need to continue with the momentum and to continue to be aggressive.
Well, the 5 first half shots by Tampa Bay. It's the 7th time this year that Brooklyn have faced at least 5 shots. They've lost 5 of their 6 other occasions in which they've allowed 5+ shots on target. The formula not there, and for a team down by 2 goals, looking for an answer of any kind. This ball boots across. Obregon heads it high to the sky. Still not able to angle that ball towards the goal. Now Pinto thought about taking a swing. In the end, Tampa Bay corral. Pinto slows down Cicerone. If you want tickets to the biggest matches in the USL, SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your ticket to great seats. Delightful pass here. Myers cuts the edge, cuts back. Myers loops it across. Slides past 2, rolls out, goal kick.
First hits of timing here from MD Myers, really well done. To start a little bit deeper, and as he cuts this ball back, creates separation. If you are Cruz, you need to get to this second post. That is a phenomenal ball in terms of the location from MD Myers. You have Schneider open at the cutback. You need to be a little bit more aggressive in terms of your movement. If you do, it's 3-0 for the Rowdies.
Tampa Bay have had moments like that, just bursts. And yet again, Perez lines it up out wide. Multiple men around the box. Dolabella was raising his hand. Florida Rowdies continue. Cruz wants it across the field. Instead, Obregon chases. Getting right back, however. In a tight window, it's a chance to reset here for Tampa Bay. In control, coming off of their first loss of the season, 1-0 against Hartford at home. That ball loops over the top. Myers chases after it. Burns comes out, heads it away. The flag is up for offside, but I believe advantage was being played there, and it's going to be a yellow card as well. It's Vuk Latinovic. That is the man that picks up the yellow card to set up a free kick for the Rowdies.
Really late here. Latinovic just catches MD Myers. And as he does, jump a little aggressively, that allows this run to come in behind him. Now both center backs for Brooklyn in the book.
Latinovic grew up in Brookfield, Wisconsin, went to the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, and has journeyed around a little bit in his pro career. Last season was with Orange County. A throw in for Tampa Bay, a team this season that has scored 11 second-half goals for the year. Third most goals in the league overall. And with one more would tie Lou City for the most. Aleckson heads it out. They controlling the flow of this game right now. That's a good run from Cruz. And Brooklyn do enough there. Cervania wins a throw. Tampa Bay have consistently been one of the best in the league. Last year was an aberration. Over the top, Myers chases. Burns comes out again. Gets ahead on this. The flag stays down this time with Myers. But the Rowdies back to their consistent selves. The formula has been simple. Score a lot of goals, defend, and that has been what we've seen in the Eastern Conference the last several years. Typically, it's Charleston and Louisville that are the two top teams in the East. Those two are having really good years. It's just Tampa Bay has been so much better than everybody else. Would finish the night with 31 points if the score holds. They'd be the first to get there, and they'd have 10 more points than anybody else in the league. If that stands and nobody else is able to gather points later tonight.
It's been just so impressive to watch Tampa Bay Rowdies, especially going forward. They can hurt you in just so many ways, whether it is combinations centrally, whether it is individual brilliant set pieces. And Dominic Casciato has been able to do with this side and just give them different looks and rotations. You have Russell Cicerone that can play centrally. Now he's playing wide. MD Myers is a striker that wants to score goals, but also can find that final ball as well. Oliveira is a player that has taken that next step in terms of his production as well. So you just have so many weapons and all work together extremely well underneath Dominic Casciato.
Yeah, it is impressive when you look at what we were talking about with Brooklyn, bringing in players from a variety of areas. You mentioned Oliveira. Well, he'd been in Brazil, Portugal, and the United Arab Emirates since 2012. This is his first time in the United States, and he's progressed into this group. And then you bring in players from, as you mentioned, League One with the Omaha holdovers and some of the USL Championship players brought in for Tampa Bay. They've had an overhaul of their roster as well. And what they've been able to produce showcases a little bit of a blueprint that Brooklyn is trying to follow. At the 1 hour mark, it's Tampa Bay 2, Brooklyn 0. Cicerone in the 29th minute, Myers a PK in the 33rd minute. Michael Watring, Ricky Lopez, that's been on our team with you here on this Saturday evening on a 9-match night in the USL Championship. Breaking out of the pack here. That ball rolls in. Oliveira. There are two men unmarked. Would have been a good chance for a third.
Yeah, if you are Luis Perez, you need to use this run from Oliveira as a decoy because he pulls out Van Kezio. You overlook that. Like you said, Michael, you have two players unmarked. A little bit of lacking in terms of the decision-making there from Luis Perez.
Each team are preparing a host of subs. Perhaps a change in thought for Brooklyn as they have three getting prepared to come in. A couple for Tampa Bay. That ball is taken back. Direct pass, though, doesn't reach its intended target. Pinto gets it back. Cervania twirls. Cross loops inside of the 18. A lot of pushing and shoving. Only gets a volley and misses it high. Would have been a lifeline for short for Brooklyn.
2v2 at this back post. Wonderful opportunity for CJ. Only you do not need to go for power here. Just simply open up your foot and pass it towards this far post. A little bit overzealous and tries to do a little bit too much and just puts it up and over the crossbar.
Tampa Bay changes. Giannis Learman and Evan Conway come on. Russell Cicerone, the second leading active goal scorer in the USL Championship, and Leland Archer sub off. Archer making just his second appearance of the year, extending those minutes on his side. Meanwhile, for Brooklyn, they bring in Abdoulaye Conte, as well as Peter Mangione and Johnny Klein. That trio replaces Cervania, Pinto, and Stojanovic. And Stefan Stojanovic's goal-scoring streak will come to an end at 3. Overgon chases, Wait in a tough spot, gets it away. Flares it to midfield now. Bronxon hustles back and rolls it back to Burns. Brooklyn FC is proud to partner with NYC Footy of the Footy League, where 60,000 New Yorkers of all skill levels make friends and stay fit playing in organized soccer leagues around the city. Visit nycfooty.com to learn more and sign up. Cool little initiative. Be a chance for you to score a goal for the first time in a while. I know it didn't happen a whole lot in your pro career, but maybe a chance for you to get out there and show that you still have something.
What about your... Oh, wait.
I didn't play soccer, so there is no career to talk about. I played a different kind of footy. Football.
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 Okay.
Really good ball to get it across midfield. Tampa Bay have been in control of this game for much of the night. Entering the evening, Detroit, Lou City, and San Antonio all had 21 points. Detroit and Lou City played in the USL Cup. San Antonio on the other side is off this evening. So it would be 10 points better than everybody else in the league for the Shield as they hit the end of June. That early match between Sporting Jacks and Charleston still in a weather delay. Meanwhile, two other games currently in action are scoreless. 66 minutes between Hartford and Pittsburgh, no score there, and Birmingham and Loudon midway through the first half. Neither team has been able to score in that match. Will Brooklyn be able to break through in this one and make it a dash to the finish line? Haven't been able to generate a ton here this evening against this Tampa Bay side that does not give up very many chances at all. They've given up 2 goals 2 times, both draws. Other than that, they've given up 4 goals in their other 11 matches.
And it's going to look different for Brooklyn and how they attack the remainder of this game. Conte, who just tried to dummy this ball into NKZO, he's going to give you that verticality that lacked through the majority of this match. Klein will play centrally. He's a nice tidy play next to Tommy McNamara in that central location. Mangione likes to play in between lines and can make those darting runs off of the shoulder of Obregon Jr. So 4-2-3-1 look for this Brooklyn side to try to call himself back into this game.
Brooklyn entered with 60 shots on target this year, 4th most in the league. They had had at least 5 in 5 matches for the year, but tonight they have just 4 shots. Haven't quite been able to find that same type of rhythm, and if you're looking at the bench, you still do have Sean Hundle and Pierre De Silva, a couple of veterans available, perhaps to try to change the complexion of the game, and the frustration being shown only through that ball over the top. Nobody ended up making that final run. Dolabella. Schneider slices it through the defense. Frogson, though, gets there right in front of Evan Conway.
But again, it's just such a good balance with MD Myers, the hold-up play, Conway making the run in behind. We are Dominic Casciato. That is the exact type of movement that you want to unbalance this Brooklyn FC back line.
Decisive and clinical performance from the Rowdies in this matchup. And after they go back home, they won't have to go back on the road for nearly another month. Lexington at home on the 4th, and then Naples in the Prince Tires USL Cup finale on the 11th. And then they go to Loudon on July 18th. Only hits this from a distance. Wait. Will never be fooled from that range. Another ball looking to split the back line. This time handled better. Latinovic. Rowdies' goal differential entering the night was plus 13. And they're doing nothing to hurt that cause here. It appears as if Tampa Bay are going to use another change. It's going to be Carson Henderlong replacing MD Myers, and Henderlong still looking to open his regular season account for the Rowdies after finishing last season with 14 goals in USL League One with FC Naples.
Really good opportunity for Henderlong to make his impact felt. Player that you asked Samara Casciaro about in terms of his progression, saying taking a little bit longer than expected to find the back of the net in a Rowdies jersey. If you look at the striker, the physical attributes, clear, big, strong, likes to run in behind, can stretch the field, really soft feet. He's going to need a little bit more confidence and service into him for the remainder of 20 minutes. Important for Henderlong and his confidence going forward.
It's a man that began his collegiate career at Xavier and then made the big move up to one of the collegiate powers in Indiana. So a little bit of a similarity in terms of his pro career as well. Olney crosses this. It takes a ricochet. Perez wins it. Advantage played. Looping ball out for Henderlong. Flag stays down. A chance here for the Rowdies. Henderlong on cue. Runs right into Latinovic. A tug from Henderlong and a foul. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights, plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Minutes to go in this contest. Tampa Bay, with goals from Cicerone and MD Myers in the first half, lead Brooklyn 2-0. And after 15 straight unbeaten to begin the year in all competitions, Tampa Bay lost last week for the first time 1-0. They have responded here tonight with a 2-0 advantage in a pretty dominating performance as well, by a 2-0 margin, out shooting Brooklyn 12-6. With Ricky Lopez, Espin, and our entire crew, Michael Watrang, elated to have you along for the ride here this evening. And will Brooklyn be able to have any kind of say in the next 20 minutes? Trying to get one back at the very least in the next 10 or so to make this a dash to the finish line. Dos Santos rips it down the field. Henderlong tries to get an angle, and instead he commits the foul.
eFootball's here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball's free to play. Download now.
FC Tulsa and Colorado Springs have kicked off. So 4 matches in the USL Championship going on, and there's one USL Championship fixture in the Prince Tires USL Cup. Lexington and Indy 11 are still scoreless. That game closing in on the final quarter hour of that game. In fact, every game other than ours in the USL Championship has been scoreless so far today, including that USL Cup matchup between Detroit and Lou City that ended 0-0, needing to go to penalties for the extra point. Brooklyn get another free kick here. They've had plenty of these, either corner kicks or free kicks. McNamara goes fast with a reset. Cross goes in. Lopez cannot get it to the target. Klein connects on that ball as it rolls out. Frogson chases and a chance to reset.
It's another opportunity for Brooklyn just to slow the game down, get your big bodies forward, and put the ball into a dangerous area. You go quick, you try to go short to put the ball back in. A little bit of frustration has to start to set in for Martin LeBlanc, because that is an opportunity that you need to capitalize on if you're trying to cut this lead in half.
Bodies collide. Doesn't stop the run here of Oliveira. He loses it. Klein captures. And again, another ball played into an empty pocket, but nobody nearby. Latinovich in the final quarter hour now. And this has been an unfriendly window for Brooklyn. They have scored once in the final 15 minutes of a match this season, while they have conceded 7 times in the final 15 minutes. Only Sporting Jacks has given up more in the final quarter hour. Burns has made 3 saves tonight. Another reach of contact. Burns comes out. Sends it down the field. Not well hit. Only steals it. Obergon. Klein circles. Right back. Cross comes in. Bodies colliding. And just enough to force that ball away. Frogson resets. Henderlong commits the foul, and another free kick for Brooklyn.
Heavy legs starting to maybe set in for this Rowdy side, coming a little bit late into challenges as Pierre De Silva comes onto this field for Obregon Jr.
De Silva, 27 years of age, grew up in Port Chester, New York. He also has been well-traveled with Orlando, St. Louis, Memphis, Madison, and then overseas for the last couple years. Olney sets up this free kick. Laces it across. Empty header for Klein. Nobody nearby, and doesn't put it on targets.
Quality service from CJ Olney. You're about 12 yards out from Klein. You need to force Jamali Waite to make a save at the very least. That is a gift of a ball from CJ Olney. This hasn't been as clean as you need it to be in the final third here for Brooklyn.
Bodies come together. Klein nearly stole that ball back. Instead, it is De Silva winning it. Contact. This pass is errant. Henderlong steals. Dolabella laces it over the top. Conway chases. Conway cuts. Lays it up top. Klein steals. Really good read. Not quite the impact here since coming on.
It's been really active. Klein has good ball.
Olney plays this along the left-hand side. Alves disappoints. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. There has been a bit of a flow in the last 10 minutes. Brooklyn has started to find a little bit more continuity in the attack, and they can ill afford to give up a chance here in the final 10 minutes, trying to overcome a 2-goal deficit that has stood since the 33rd minute when Myers scored the PK. Goal separated by less than 4.5 minutes. Cicerone scored in the 29th minute. And that's where we sit right now. 2-0. Tampa Bay out in front, looking for a 9th win of the season that would match their 2025 win total, with still 16 matches to go. And with 10 to play here, it's 2-0 Tampa Bay. Michael Watrang, Ricky Lopez, Espen, and our team coasting to the finish line. Winless in its last 6 in USL Championship play. That ball's poorly given away. Rolls right to Oliveira. Winds up the right side. Perez slowly rolls. Now sets it up. Touches it back. Dolabella charges. Connects on a cross. And a foul. As that ball was going into the net, the foul and the whistle came first.
Doesn't count, but what a quality finish that was. Luis Perez just so instinctual, really quick, as Lewis Hilton will come on for Luis Perez.
Perez stolen from having another goal as you take another look at this sequence here. On the volley, hits it sharply, and Burns doesn't get there, but now Perez hits the bench, and Lewis Hilton comes on for a 274th time in his career. He is 8th all-time and 4th among active players. Only Sean Tosh, Aiden Quinn, and Bolu Akinyode are the only other active players that have appeared in more USL Championship regular season matches. Rowdies have now outscored opponents 9-2 on the road this season, and Tampa Bay has only given up 8 goals all season long. Albeit they have given up 3 in the final 10 minutes of a match this year. Will Brooklyn be able to make it a 4th? Maybe even a 5th? You big roller coaster guy? Looking at the roller coaster back there behind the...
Not at all.
No?
No. You?
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Really?
Fan, yeah.
I went on one, my first one, threw up, never again.
So I'm not going to catch you doing spins or anything there?
No. I'll support you, but you can go. You'll go on that?
Oh, absolutely.
That's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the fun ones. Between you and our producer tonight, Maria Ringo, 1 roller coaster.
That's more than enough.
Collectively in your lives.
Yeah, that's more than enough.
You guys are missing out. Have you ever at least been on like the wooden ship that is everywhere where it goes back and forth? You haven't even done that?
I'm just not a rides guy.
Wow. Maybe that should be a halftime segment in the future. Ricky's Rides.
What's your favorite roller coaster or ride?
There's a roller coaster, I believe it's at Busch Gardens, where it takes you up to the top. And if you sit in the front row, it leans you over the hill and then pauses.
Yeah, no.
And you don't know how long it's going to be. It feels like an eternity, and you're just hanging there staring at the ground. That was a fun one.
And you do that, and you think that's fun?
I think it's fun, yeah. I think that's a good time. It's exhilarating. Alves loops it high. Waite comes out, snatches it. He's made 3 saves tonight as he looks for his 6th clean sheet of the year for the team that leads the league in clean sheets for the season. Eyes for a 3rd in this one. Conway tried to chip it in there. Frogson steals. Minutes plus stoppage time remain in this one. It's been a better second half for Brooklyn. They have 7 of the 8 official shots in this second half. Tampa Bay have been held to just 1 second half shot. Brooklyn have not been able to capitalize on their chances so far. Alves, he gets taken down. And here is a really good look at the target for Brooklyn to try to slice the margin in half. Well, only in Pierre Da Silva, the 2 men standing next to it. Only 19 years of age. Da Silva at 27. You know, Da Silva wants to look at it, but Only's had a really good game.
Set pieces, CJ Only really thrives, but it sets up fantastically for a left footer in Pierre Da Silva to bend it around the wall towards that near post of Jamali Waite.
Da Silva drills, ricochets off of the wall, spins out of play, and it goes out for a corner. So now Olney will get to showcase that right peg here. Stepping onto the warning track. Brooklyn make the change. Tommy McNamara comes out, and Rocco Romero comes in here in the 87th minute. Check that. Rocco Romeo is the one that comes in. McNamara goes off, had to give away the captain's armband and gave it to Vuk Latinovic, who was the man that is having a chat with Max Schneider and our center referee, Sergei Boyko. '88th minutes. Olney Reddies swings this corner in, first post. Nudged aside, loose. Olney wins it back, crosses another.
The amount of service that Tampa has had to deal with late in this second half, they've done a really good job within their box defending and organization.
Alves wraps it in. It takes a ricochet. Klein was open. He mishits it. It nearly ends up perfectly on the head of a teammate, instead goes out wide. Klein has been in and around the neighborhood of scoring tonight, and he just has not been able to put one on target.
Center of your screen, number 8, just asking for this ball to be cut back, but unable to set his feet, Klein. And as this ball comes back across Frogson, don't know if he's really expecting this ball as well to get put back in, unable to get clean contact on it, a little bit off balance.
I think you have to wonder, though, if Alves plays that ball to the feet of Klein, first of all, it's a much better look than the second chance off of that header.
When you make those runs out of midfield, it's just such a nightmare to defend because you have to rely on communication and passing players off. And a lot of times that kind of half second is what's the difference of Tony Klein getting on the ball, having a shot on target versus you coming across and denying that service into him.
Into the 90th minutes. Tampa Bay content with just holding the ball, or at least I thought so, because Dolabella sends that in. It goes out for a corner. And now let's see if they play short on this corner and elect to take some time off the clock. It remains scoreless everywhere else among USL Championship teams, with the exception of our game here. Max Schneider backpedals on this one. A former Union Omaha player who was a first-team All-League pick in League One last year. Schneider smashes it across back post. A tug of the jersey, appeals for a penalty. Instead, it just rolls out quietly, and Brooklyn now break into the attack. 3 minutes of second half stoppage time to go. Brooklyn have not scored in second half stoppage time this year. Tampa Bay have scored 4 times. It's been a second half where Tampa Bay is sat in defensively. They only have 1 shot in the second half. Brooklyn have 9. Only 2 of those 9 on target, only 5 of the 9 inside of the box. A third of the way through second half stoppage time. Brooklyn still looking for something here. Cross goes in, headed out, only as far as Alves. Only with a nice quick turn, steps in, hooks it right to Wade. The ball bounces down. It nearly found Henderlong. Frogson did just enough there to defend.
Henderlong doing a good job using his body there. But just too heavy of a touch off of his chest. Allows Burns to come in. And struggling to really find the tempo of the game. Henderlong.
Well, tonight's game is any indication of Carson Henderlong's number. It's kind of unfair to him because Tampa Bay have been content with defending and holding on to the ball and not really looking for any attacking moments. And few and far between, but maybe here's one. Odd man rush, 2v1. Lining this one up, Oliveira to the left side. Conway connects and misses wide right on what would have been a clincher and a third goal to match a season high.
Really love the patience and the unselfishness here from Oliveira to cut it back, allow the run of Evan Conway to continue on. Just pulls it wide, closes up his hips a little bit too quick. Conway just pushes it by this near post.
Closing in on the final whistle.
Pangan dingin nasi enyes, sangel-angel.
Buburnya dipisah malah kayak.
Ya pisah lah.
Apa bubur di sekolah?
Memang kan gua kayak akbar kemarin kan akeh ya apa siji.
Wis panas jendar emang.
Burung patia, wis panas. Nah.
Ya lagi.
Nges kuning, singir tempe, pakan, tahu. Wih, lihat deh, ini spesialis. Ye, apa?
Kayak bubur.
Bubur? Kok bubur rasanya ini bubur? Santan sih orang itu. Gorengan arah cilik-cilik kok apa-apa aja tak pingin. Pak Wan itu jeneng Pak Wan ini. Ora apa-apa sithik lah nek kakean ndak ora keman. Pak Wan gem, awak tempe, menduan. Nih. Menduan. Ini menduan ke, amah ke. apa sih?
Mene.
Ya iki dike lho ya, dike wis ngelih ngerti iki uges wae. Kuwi Pak Wanik. Nah,
Bapak. Enak.
ya enggak kena.
Enak. Ya.
Oh, eka kalau paling murah.
Kalau sambal ya.
Apa nih?
Sambal.
Sambel. Lah kuwi ana sambel e. Sambel dulu dulu. Ini ana lah.
Gak bunyi di sini.
Wah, terus gak wis kuat nang.
Terus gak bunyi sak lapangannya tuh. Cek lapangan. Kayaknya enak dia ya, gak bunyi.
Ya cari situ dulu. Wis jelas enak iki.
Enak. Enak.
Umane nya kene.
Enak.
Nah. Wah, ngabuk lain kowe kan. Ndak aku. Lu harang iki kan, Pak.
Enggak kok mending kayak tempenya. Udah nih kue ini mal. Kayak kak.
Dapat kesan.
Mereka pamit bubur, kayak mesin. Yang penting. Nah.
Hak.
Aku enak.
Wes.
Asli lah, nek wong gulare bayangane pingin, tapi lah kakek ora kena kan. Santen wis bayar santen. Masukkan delapan kan metu gasnya ora nanaim. Gasnya ora tahu kan nang kameran.
Enak lagi.
Kenapa dulu apa? Ini gua apa banget. Mata yang luar tak kok nanti.
Udah enak sih.
Hei. Sini lu sana. Wah, habiskan dulu. Habiskan dulu. Benar. Ngayal bae sono mulai.
Mas, ngono? Bapak ngono, Jar. Mas. Lek ngono. Lek OM ngono.
Nah. duduk. Duduk rumah.
Itu soal anaknya Evi ya tuh ya.
Bah, dengan anaknya Evi. Duduk sini. Tiba kok duduk sini. Sama bapak. Di bapak. Kamu lupa be? Man. Kamu lupa we karo Mbak Lia. Bedong. Bedong Mbak Lia. Kamu lupa be?